Not lander. Not lander. Not lander. Dojoran. Alright, here we go. 4 months ago, the world seemed filled with peace and harmony. After leaving a thin and fragile envelope in an endless immensity, the only benefit of life was innocence. Nothing was more necessary than to sneak out of shadows on instinct as its clumsy parts began to evolve. It took little time to discover that everything was a real nightmare. Now that you are an adult, you know that you have come here by pure luck, unlike many of your brothers. To continue your journey, you need to learn from your ancestors. Ancient techniques used to deal with real dangers. This will be your test. Learn and survive here, so you can have a chance in the real world. That's me. Knowing how to differentiate what may or may not hurt you is the first step to survival. Oh. Oh, right. This is Dojoran for the Nintendo Switch. Frogs do not eat apples. Use them wisely. Oh, they're for double jumps. No, maybe? Yes. Okay. Alright, yeah, this is Dojoran for the Dojoran for the Switch. It's caught my attention because it kind of looks like Gato Roboto. It's got the same art style where it's like 1-bit. Save that life and it can be yours. Alright, alright. Oh, they're just levels. Okay. Cool. But yeah, this is I don't know. I thought it was interesting looking because of the graphical style, and only difference is that instead of a cat, you're a frog, and this is not a Metroidvania like the other one was. This one's kind of just like, I can't. Okay. Kind of looks like it's just maps that you do. And this is this, so you have the bug. You can survive a hit or something. Alright. I mean, so far it's pretty straightforward. Wow. Okay, it looks like I did not. Alright. 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 Okay, oh. Okay. I'm getting it. I'm understanding. I'm picking up what they're putting down. That's it. That's a wrap. Cool. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of games that I've had on my Switch that I've been wanting to get to because I bought them specifically for recording, right? Like, I think because I do these recordings, I tend to buy more stuff, or I'm like, you know what, like, I'll buy that, sure, whatever, you know. Even if I can, like, it looks like there's something about it that interests me, whether it's a big thing or a small thing. Most of the time, it's just like I'm like, oh, that looks goofy, I want to try that. And then because I'm like, well, I have to record for it, I wonder. Yes, okay. It gives me like I don't know. Like the fact that I record these reminds me like, hey, I need to play this game. I need to play that game. And so, you know, it's good for me in that oh crap. It's good for me in the fact that I think I have the apple, yeah. In that it will not force me, but it'll make me want to play some of these games or like not leave them in the backlog, you know? Because it's a thing where I have to, I mean, I bought the game, I have to play it. And that's what I'm doing. Dojoran. This is a frog game. I mean, you saw the intro. It didn't seem like there was much going on. There's only one button, and well, there's two buttons. There's jump, and then there's the button for the apple when you have the apple, which pretty straightforward game. I don't know, man. So far, it's not bad. Like, it's not, you know, it's nothing mind blowing. But I think there's like a happy medium. Oh no! I think there's like a happy medium between like how a game plays in terms of like the level progression. Like there's the super popular now they're called what, the Metroidvanias, where it's just, you go in and it's just one giant map and you have to go through the map and discover the stuff and you know, that whole thing. And I get it. Like that's the popular genre of the time. That's what everyone's into, and that's totally fine. And then there's platformers like shit, I didn't do it right. Okay. Oh, because I had the bug, but that means when I beat the thing I won't have the bug. I see. How do I... Oh, I see it. Nope. What else was I talking about? I think I was just talking... Oh, yeah, so there's like the Metroidvania style of games, which are the most popular, and there's tons of them everywhere, to the point where it's like almost oversaturated, you know? And then there's like these ones, which are more like very small level based. And one thing that puts me off of a game, I don't know why. I kind of know why. But when games have this kind of map structure where it's like level 1, level 2, level 3, and it's literally just like, here's a bunch of challenges. Like, the thing that I don't like about that format or like displaying it in that style is that it feels very mobile game-like. And not that there's anything wrong with mobile games. I mean, I play Fire Emblem Heroes. I've been playing it for 6 years or however long it's been out. But for games like this that have, you know, action platform type thing, it feels kind of cheap, in my opinion. It's when they do that, or when they rate you with stars at the end of like when you do something and then they rate you with like 1 to 3 stars. That's always felt cheap to me, and I think it's only because it's a style of grading and presentation that exists in mobile games. And for me, I don't know, they just feel kind of cheap. Like it cheapens the game a lot, because mobile games for a long time were seen as this like cheap, you know, damn it. They always felt like god damn it. I always felt like a cheap alternative to traditional games, where it's like, oh, the mobile games they're not real games, you know, they're just games that you know, that like non-gamers play. And this is, god damn it, this is just kind of like the feeling I got of them just being on the internet for so long. And it sucks to think that way, because just like there's traditional, like, damn it, I didn't see that. Just like there's traditional games that were garbage and were like cash grabs. The mobile games are the same way, but there's also mobile games that they tried really hard on, and you know they really, you know, it was somebody's dream to damn it, to make it. And they're not all simple cash grabs. The only problem is that because they were that for so long, it's hard to disassociate for me, especially for me, like someone who enjoys video games and as a hobby, and you know, I like to read about them and find out about them and try them, and oh man, I'm getting slapped around. Okay. I keep forgetting. I gotta slow down. I'm going too fast. I wonder if the coins do anything for me. Yeah, it's just it's hard to disassociate for me those that video game language when it's so closely associated with the kinds of games that I did not like, which were mobile games, because I feel like the introduction of mobile games, it was good for games in general because it popularized it more, and it became, you know, it's like, oh, everyone plays, like grandma plays games, you know, like look, she's playing Bejeweled, and it made gaming on electronic devices more accepted and more commonplace. But at the same time, there was people who, there's people who took advantage of that fact. There's so much crappy games, or games that had like ads or tried to microtransactions and that whole thing, and or games that just kind of like felt very like designed to appeal to as most people as possible. So, which is fine, obviously these companies are trying to sell a product, but it basically turned video game creation, which is a type of art form, in my opinion, into something that was overly commercialized for the sake of profit, which to me is like it's kind of why, it's kind of why there's certain artists and stuff that I don't like, and it's just because of the way the art looks, where I'm like, this feels very calculated to be as broadly appealing as possible, and not in a way that's like interesting, but just in like, what's the most we can reduce this to and still call it art and then sell it, you know? It's like that. It's like that whole thing, and I don't know. That's a whole conversation that I'm having with myself right now. But I think about that kind of stuff sometimes, where, you know, I look at and this isn't a knock on the people who do it, because, you know, everyone's got their own thing going on, but I see the, like, people who do art, right, like painting and drawing and illustration and that whole thing. Oh, I probably could have kept that. I should have kept that. Damn it. Well, I gotta go back for it. And then, so, you know, I'm like, you know, it's cool. There's people who are doing that for a living, and it's their passion, and they genuinely are like, you know, they learned how to make art, and, you know, it's a creative process, and there's thought into what's going on for the sake of, you know, expressing oneself. And then I see like those people who do those things who do things like the street vendor guys who are doing the paintings of like, oh, here's a moon, and then they spray paint a thing, and then they like mess around with the paint, and then it's like, oh, look, cool, here's your planet. It's like, oh wow, it looks amazing, I'm gonna buy one for, you know, $40. And it's just like, you know, good for you for doing the, you know, for making this happen, and, you know, making your living off of it. Like, I think there's nothing wrong with doing that, but it kind of, to me anyway, it feels like it reduces art, because then there's people who are like, you know, you go to someone who's like an artist, capital A artist, right? Or trying to be, at least. They're trying to learn how that world and get better at their technique and practicing and you know, that whole thing. And then they get commissioned for like, hey, you know, can you do this drawing of this thing, you know? And they're like, oh yeah, well, it's gonna be this much. And they're like, why is it so much? It's like, well, because it takes time and effort, and you know, there's like thoughts and stuff. And then it's like, yeah, but like art's not even that hard. Like I saw a guy on the street who did a painting of like a world, and you know, it came out awesome. And you're telling me that if I want anything, like it's gonna be that much? Like why would I get that? And it's like, well, you know, that's not the intention of the people who are doing this like street art stuff. But to me anyway, it feels like that's kind of what happens by just exposing the people to the media in such a like way. And the reason I bring that up is because it's the same thing where it's like, once you have that, it's hard to disassociate it with it. Because you know, like for me, I went to art school and I learned about art, and you know, I have a greater understanding than a lot of people who don't know anything about it, and also a greater appreciation for when I see the thing and I'm like, oh damn, like that looks like it was. And that, you know, that's like for anything. Like it's like if you see you know, if you do music production for a living and then you hear something that someone else produced and you're like, oh wow, that's, you know, I don't have to like the end result, but I can appreciate and respect the amount of effort that went into it. And I feel like with mobile games, and the reason I bring this up is just going back to the mobile game thing, is how like so many people were, oh, I missed a coin. Some people were introduced to games in that fashion, which is great. But so many of those people will always just think of like, it's why people have a problem paying for games. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean I have to pay for this game? Like, why isn't it free? It's like, do you know how much effort it takes to create one? It's like, yeah, well, you know, I can play Bejeweled on my phone. Oh, not Bejeweled, but I can play Flappy Bird on my phone for free, and that's, you know, that'll entertain me for a long time. Why do I have to pay X amount of dollars for this game? Like, what's so good about this game that why can't it be free? Or when I worked at Best Buy, I remember the customers that would just be like, oh, cool, the VR thing, the headset. It's like, oh, what games does it come with? And it's like, oh, it doesn't come with any games. Like, well, how do you get them? Like, oh, you get them through the thing. Like, well, how much do they cost? Like, oh, well, it depends, you know, like some are going to be this much, some are going to be that much. Like, why do you have to pay for them? Like, because they're fucking, somebody had to make them. It's like, well, I don't know. I don't like that you have to pay for them. It's like, what the hell are you talking about? And it's just because their perception of games, it's like, oh, it should be this cheap thing that's free, and like games are just this cheap thing. And I don't know. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. All I know is that I'm playing Dojoran, and I'm actually close to time, so I think I'll do this one and maybe one more. In conclusion, for my TED Talk, I think that this game's cool. It's nothing. Well, at least I got the thing right there. It's nothing that's like out of the ordinary. You know, it's pretty straightforward, which is fine. I think the thing of them just being like numbers, like, oh, level 1, level 2, level 50, level 100, makes, in my opinion, it feels cheaper because of the perception that I have, or I associate that with mobile games. But it's different for everyone. Oh no! I freaked. God damn it. I did not keep composure. Oh, damn it. That was my bad. My bad. I think this game, I don't think it should have been like, oh fuck, like not like a full-on like Metroidvania game, right? Because that's too much. But I think something a little more structured that wasn't just, this is level 1, this is level 2, this is level 3, this is level 40, I think would have made me a little bit more intrigued about the whole thing, only because of that kind of what I was talking about, where it would feel less cheap. Because as soon as I see the what's it called, damn it, the numbered levels like that, it makes me think, like, why wasn't this just a mobile game? Okay, so I can't go there. I feel like I'm close to the level, or like to the level end. Maybe this is the last one I'm doing. All right, come on. This is a fun time waster. I will admit. It's a very fun time waster. And good job, Dojoran team. Oh. Alright, here we go, here we go. Check it out! Yeah! Damn! I was right there the whole time. I don't... Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's it for... What do I do with these coins? I don't know what I do with these coins. Main menu. Start. Oh, it's a really short game. Well, what the hell is I talking about? I don't know. I'm rambling about games. That was Dojoran. I think it's pretty neat. Definitely a good pickup for $1 or $2. I think I got it for like $2. Yeah, I mean, in reality, you can beat it in like an hour, which, you know, whatever. But that's fine. They don't all have to be 80-hour epics. All right, bye.